And heaven forbid, I was trying to see how I was gonna beg mom to get whatever outfit she said that girls like me shouldn't wear. But you know, that's life, and we go through those changes. But we wake up, and we decide there are other things that I can do. And maybe we think about what Marian Wright Edelman said, and she said it best when she said, we must not, in trying to think about how we can make a difference, ignore the small daily differences that we make over time, which add up to big differences that we often cannot see. Your small thing may be in a classroom and someone was struggling and you offered a helping hand. Your small thing may be a neighbor who you know cannot get out to go to the grocery store. And your small thing may be helping her. And your small thing may be taking someone without them asking out just for a walk and a talk to have someone to share with. The key is doing something each and every day to improve the quality of life for someone else, thereby improving the quality of life for many. Small things do add up. So what about a pop quiz? How old was Rosa Parks, also known as the mother of the civil rights movement, when she refused to give up her seat on the Montgomery bus line on that fateful day, Thursday, December 1st, 1955? If you guessed 42, you'd be correct. And did you know that at age 44, Shirley Chisholm was the first Black female to serve into the United States House of Representatives? And at age 48, she became the first Black person, male or female, to be a candidate for a major political party to run for president of these United States. Or even closer to home, right here in Hot Springs, this city birthed Dr. Mamie Phipps Clark, the first woman of color to earn a PhD from Columbia University. Do you remember the doll test? And for you youngsters, have you heard of the doll test? Well, the doll test of the late 50s and 60s, Dr. Clark and her husband are responsible for this phenomenon. They hypothesized that segregation had a negative impact on children of color, and they used the doll test to prove it. Dr. Clark used 4 dolls, identical dolls, except for color, to test the children's racial perceptions. Their subjects were children between the ages of 3 to 7. And they were asked to identify both the race of the dolls and which color doll they preferred. A majority of the children preferred the white doll and assigned positive characteristics to it. The Clarks concluded that prejudice, that discrimination, and segregation created a feeling of inferiority among African American children and damaged their self-esteem. She and her husband developed that test, and that test was used in the landmark Brown v. Board of Education of 1954. Now, what do these women have in common besides the fact that they were all women or young girls? They saw something that needed to be done. And rather than looking around to see who would do it, they stepped up to the plate, and they did. So regardless of your age, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, in the words of Shirley Chisholm, you don't make change by standing on the sideline whimpering. You make change by implementing ideas, or better yet, Shirley Chisholm said, and this is probably one of my favorite quotes of hers, if they don't give you a seat at the table, just bring a folding chair. I think the women and girls I've highlighted possess a character trait that I would call resilience. Because resilience is the ability to recover quickly from something you started and didn't pan out. Resilience means never taking no for an answer. Resilience means sometimes that just stick-to-itiveness. You have a plan, you have a dream. Don't ever let it wither. Nourish that dream. You have a plan. It's not what you want today. Keep working on that plan. Improve upon that plan. Just don't leave that plan to go dormant. You have an idea? Perfect that idea. Make it work. Make certain that you leave your mark. Then I think we can see how we become stronger. Stronger as women, stronger as Americans, helping this great country of ours. Now, I was going to share a little bit about my walk in leadership. After having seen that video, I think it has taken care of that. You all know more about me than I know about me now. But what I do want to say is, number one, I'm blessed and fortunate. I'm very thankful for the opportunities that I've had. No woman is an island. You don't do it alone. So I stand on the shoulders, and I've always stood on the shoulders of so many others. My leadership experiences were expanded for me through politics. And I spent a great deal of my time going around in this country and throughout the world, trying to do what I said was to demystify that word politics. Because sometimes when you start talking politics, people start, I'm not a politician, and I want to do this, I want to do that. Got it? Just wait. The 3-year-old plays politics. They know if I want that popsicle, today I'm gonna ask mom. If I want, the teenager knows, if I want to go to the movies, don't ask mom, I'm gonna ask dad. In church, the mother sitting on the mother's bench, as they call it in my church, knows that if she wants to be the lead in doing the communion, then she's got to make certain that the others agree with her. It's persuasion, that's politics. My point is, yes, there are many things that happen in the political arena that we are not always comfortable with. But just let's make it better. Let's make it better. Because it is an avenue to help get things done that you want to see being done. So for politics, for me, it was a way that I was able to explore. I always said it was evolutionary for me, out of the PTA, following that first child to school, and working through that, and then getting into local government. But taking those experiences and understanding that there were other avenues, and that's much as the Women's Leadership Council is doing. You've seen needs in your community, and you figured out ways to address them. I understand this is like the 5th annual Luncheon, and it's growing. And that's what happens. When we plant a seed and it's a good seed, it grows. It grows and it flourishes. And look at these young folk. See, one day you all will be standing here talking about the day I decided it was my time to take a leadership role and to do something I thought would help improve the lives of so many others. So, organizations like this, who don't give up, who keep going, hopefully they're inspiring folk in this room who probably just hadn't thought about it. Trying to say, well, what is it I can do to help? Well, maybe there's a little girl in my neighborhood I can mentor. Or maybe there's a little girl in my church that I can mentor. And I guess for me, now, I don't want to leave out folk in my category, those in the 70s and above, because we also need nurturing. We also need to be respected in the sense that you still have something to offer. So I'm encouraging folk. I'm 78, and I haven't learned to say no. So I'm encouraging those in my generation, don't just say, oh, it's for the younger folk. Just ask yourself each day, what is it I can do to help make life better for someone? So I guess my challenge to each of you, and when I challenge you, I challenge myself, is to just, let's not go to bed a single night and get in that bed and say, you know, I have literally done absolutely nothing to improve the quality of life on this earth. Let's get busy. Let's make this world a better place to be. Thank you.